Hi everyone, Jennifer here. I'm going to be flipping through a vintage Victorian magazine that's 25 years old with you in today's video. Welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. I recently uncovered a treasure trove at my parents' house, all of my old Victorian magazines from 25 years ago. I was so enchanted to find them. So I thought it would be kind of fun if I just did a long, relaxing video where I flip through the magazines each month. So I picked August 1994 for this month, and this is exactly 25 years ago, so that's why I chose it. I actually filmed the video last night, and as I was looking at the footage, I realized it wasn't the best setup, so I do apologize in advance. There's a bit of a glare from the overhead light, and I'm sorry about that. I will get better. The next one that I do will not be as hard to look at. So this is the first time I've ever done a flip through like this. So I hope that you bear with me, but I did want to just keep the footage that I did because it was my genuine first reaction to flipping through it. And there's some interesting things, everything from the ads, just to how fashion has changed and everything in 25 years. It's actually pretty cool. So this is just meant to be a nice, long, relaxing video. Have it on in the background while you're doing another task, or just sit down with a cup of tea and enjoy yourself while you watch this. And we flip through an old vintage Victoria magazine together. So I do hope that you enjoy the video. All right, let's go. All right, everyone, let's get started. I have my cup of tea here. I'm just going to set that off to the side. And so I have chosen August 1994 because that was exactly 25 years ago. So I was choosing between this one that I had as well as August 1995 and August 1997, but I thought I'd go with the oldest one. The funny theme for all of these is shopping. So the title for this one says Shopping for Romance. And then the one for 1995 says, join us for a grand shopping spree, discover our most romantic finds. And then the title for 1997 one is, come shopping with us, the best new finds ever. Okay, so we are gonna go with August of 1994. And if you can believe that, that was 25 years ago. Can you believe that? Let's get right into it. So I love the cover. And it has some beautiful china on it, and this china is just lovely. And it's mixed and matched, and then a really pretty image of this lady with a beautiful brooch choker, and a cameo choker, I should say, and then her hat. So let's get into it. And also something else that I would like to point out to you is that it was only $2.50. Okay, times have changed in 25 years. The magazine's more expensive now for sure. All right, let's open it up. But first, a sip of tea. Okay, so the first thing that you get when you open it up is a car advertisement for Mitsubishi. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing the old advertisements as well, just to see how they've changed. And this is the next year, 1995, Mitsubishi. And here we have Lancôme, Paris. And that is a famous ad with this actress whose name, is this Isabella Rossellini? Yes, I believe it is. So, advertisement for Lancôme. I find this really interesting. This is Sanderson, London, Paris, and New York, fabric and wallpaper. And you know, funny enough, I love this. This is very dated right now. So if somebody did this, it would be probably considered dated, but I love this look. I'm a very traditional person. So I think that this is beautiful. So Sanderson, London, Paris, New York, wallpaper. So here's the sofa, and it's a matching fabric to the curtains, and then there's the ticker stripes and the chair, and it's just beautifully coordinated, and I actually really love that type of thing. So that's an advertisement there. On this page we have the table of contents. And Nancy Lindemeyer was the editor-in-chief. Not sure who the editor-in-chief is now, but I can find that out. And here's an advertisement for Onita for the spoon. And it says, obviously, a highly advanced civilization. This is a quite clever advertisement. I'm going to zoom out a little bit again. Okay, so here's the note from the editor. And it says, secrets we love to share. I'll just read a little bit of it for you. And it's important to note that this photograph was photographed by Toshi Otsuki, and I believe he was the one who was friends with Tasha Tudor and got to meet Tasha Tudor. And I've talked about him before. So it says, like a mother who cannot choose among her children, as the editor of Victoria, I find it impossible to favor one issue over another. But for me, August does generate a special excitement. I think my pride comes mostly from the spunky, talented women who populate this month's pages, entrepreneurs whose businesses are sharing of hands and hearts. So one thing I do love about Victoria magazine is that they highlight women entrepreneurs. And so here's an absolute ad, and this page right here is the Dear Friends page. And it says, the proper office of a friend is to side with when you are in the wrong. Nearly anybody will side with you when you are in the right. And there's a quote by Mark Twain. So of course I can't read the whole magazine, but I'm just going to choose bits and pieces to read. And these are just letters from readers. So for example, Laura Heinrich from Bellevue, Washington writes, how delightful to see you mention Laura Ingalls Wilder in Neat and Tidy, The Cook's Pantry in April. Her life and writing have fascinated me since I was a child. The many drawers and cubbies of Laura's first pantry were made by her husband, Almanzo, as a wedding present. It has always touched me to read about his thoughtful labor of love, one that began a faithful pioneer marriage of 64 years. We are currently reading through the Little House series with my daughters. I read it to them every night, and it's something that we look forward to. Okay, this is just talking about events and celebrations. Here's another ad that is worth looking at here. Storybook Originals. And I don't think this is available anymore. If it was, I would totally get this. But look how neat. It's so funny to see how the fashions change. So this was 25 years ago, and they're showing a mother dressing similarly to her children. Now, if you go on Facebook or Instagram, you see that a lot today as well. And you'll see mothers with matching clothes for their children, but of course the clothes have really changed. You know, they're certainly not as modest as this anymore. In fact, something like this, it'd be very rare to see a woman wearing something like this. But I think that they all look lovely. And I wonder if that business is still around. Okay, another advertisement for a Honda. They have to pay the bills, so they need to have these advertisements. And here is the favorite things. Hallmarks of design, signed with pride. So look how beautiful this little settee is. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a Queen Anne style bench after a 19th century English piano seat. I would love to play the piano in that seat. And I love this upholstered chair. And look at this fountain pen. So my father gave me a fountain pen for my birthday, but I cannot get it to work, and so I need to do that. And I love the look of this room. Absolutely beautiful. I love coordinating wallpaper and fabric, curtains. It's just lovely. And I love the mixture of checks and floral. Beautiful. Their favorite things here. So they continue. Blue and white is one of my favorite things as well. Here's an advertisement for Physicians Formula. Okay, continued with favorite things. Let's see what this is. This looks like iced tea. It doesn't look like my fruit water that I did on my channel a few months ago. More brocade. I love what she's wearing, the scarf, the cashmere, the pearls. She just looks beautiful. I think people used to dress classier back then. I really do. Frigidaire advertisement. Okay, so this one says, steeped with pleasure. Look at these teapot wall sconces. That's unique, isn't it? It says, to Miriam Norval's way of thinking, blending tea is somewhat akin to creating a fine perfume. At Tea, the gracious tea emporium she owns in New York, it's as though she's doing a bit of both, artfully mixing fragrances and flowers with carefully selected tea leaves. Along with the whiff of romance, they bring to an old-fashioned ritual. Her tantalizing brews offer inspiration as well for quiet talk, peaceful thoughts, even a daydream or two. And there she is right there. You can see it with the glare of the lights. Wow, look at this tea room. This is so nice. I love tea. I mean, I feel like if I could just choose one meal to eat for the rest of my life, it would be afternoon tea. Just love the sandwiches and the cakes. Look at this just gorgeous display of this bouquet and these beautiful flowers, and what a tea room. Again, I wonder if any of these businesses are still here. Lift this up a little closer so you can see it better. So neat. Biomedic ad. Okay, little folk art, a child high home. So here is what looks like a child's bedroom, and there's a little mural, or this looks like actually a wallpaper border on the wall, and I like how her fence looks like a white picket fence. And here is a painted armoire. And it says, kids spend a lot of time daydreaming about how they would change their rooms if only they had the chance, reveals Susan Saltzman, owner of Little Folk Art, a custom furniture company in Santa Monica, California. Now, I used to live in Santa Monica, and I have not heard of this, so it's probably not there anymore. And this is the writer in residence, Sisters, Forever Entwined by Susan Minot. The quote here says, having lost our mother 15 years ago, we mother one another. We buy extra pairs of earrings. We understand the subtleties of each person's taste. With my sisters, I am presumptuous. I feel I know what's going on in their heads. Sometimes I have the sensation of living 3 additional lives. Yes, sisters do have a very close bond. Ooh. Okay, so this is Romantic Fashions by Post, special deliveries. So, it says, though love letters no longer flow as freely as they did once, it's still possible to receive romance by post thanks to mail order catalogs. Isn't this funny? No longer a resource for the purely practical, today's editions are sophisticated guidebooks to the world of fashion, offering every sort of design imaginable, from lush velvet opera cloaks to one-of-a-kind jackets created from vintage quilts, all for discerning customers to select from the comfort of an armchair. Now, of course, 25 years ago, internet shopping was not a thing. So they're talking about the convenience of catalogs. Isn't that funny? My, how times have changed. So this says, Confessions of a Catalog Shopper. It says, for me, catalogs have become a form of alternative reading, says one new mother. I only have time in 5-minute spurts, and they take me into another world, reveals another confirmed mail order maven. I buy everything in 3 sizes, which I would never have the nerve to do in stores. I get to try them all out in the privacy of my home and get second opinions. Isn't this funny? So now we have online shopping, and you can still do that. Spiegel, who remembers the Spiegel ads? Oh, and there's Elizabeth Taylor, White Diamonds advertisement. That's another classic hallmark of the 90s. Okay, Romantic Reminiscence, Fabrics of the Past, Lighting the Present. So yes, this is an entrepreneurial issue, so it's going to highlight a lot of women's businesses. So this lady right here, Joyce Ames, makes beautiful lampshades. I love that one. That's so pretty. Beauty and Fashion, Estee Lauder Fall Makeup from a Seasoned Advisor. So they're going to be talking about fall makeup in this one. And I can't tell if this is an advertisement or if this is, no, this is an article. So it says, my job is to make sure a woman's beauty endures joyfully, Estee Lauder once said, and to millions of her devoted followers, it's been a mission of pure success. Convinced early on that simple routines pay off in big dividends, she could hardly wait to spread her credo, launching a family-owned business just as soon as she could. This season, her company caters to women, as it has from the start, with wonderful new ways to improve their complexions. So this is an ad for Vanilla Fields. Who remembers Vanilla Fields? That was a very popular fragrance. I have not seen that in a long time. Okay, this is Beauty in Bath, packaged for pampering. It says, when Leslie Ross began making bath soaps in her Minneapolis kitchen 13 years ago, she never dreamed she'd one day head the times, finding ideas for imaginative items and artistic packaging everywhere she travels. So she has beautiful, lovely bath soaps and that type of thing there, candles. Okay, from An Herb Lover's Garden. This was always one of my favorite contributions to Victoria magazine by Emily Tolley. Most gardeners love the physical act of gardening and share in its simple pleasures the way I do, especially in the summer when I weed and putter in the early morning before the hot sun casts its enervating spell over the day. Perhaps that's why selecting a gift for a plant-loving friend is such a happy chore, whether it's a fine tool, a special pot, or a decorative outdoor object, many available by mail. It's sure to be received and used with enthusiasm. So she has a mail order list here of her favorite herb farms and things like that. Oh, I'm just having so many flashbacks here. So this perfume I remember as well, and I remember I used to love this because it was that Victorian packaging. La Fleur. Discover romance in all its fragrance forms. So I love that packaging. Okay, the calling card section, I remember that as well. Sister Enterprises. When four friends with unique talents share a dream, success is the likely outcome. Just ask the owners of The Arbor, a Salem, Oregon gardening boutique, and their partners at the store next door, The Arbor Cafe. Together they have made fine gifts and good food the order of the day. Wouldn't that be lovely to have a business like that? Just a beautiful gift shop and then a cafe next door with your sister. I mean, what a lovely life that would be. Here are Ross Simmons. They're still around. And these are cultured pearls with garnets, and they were selling them for $250 back then. That's quite a lot, actually. 14 karat gold spheres, $120, and cultured pearls, $50. Interesting. Okay, this is the Brown Jordan collection. I don't even know what that is. Here we go. Sharing Hands and Hearts, Finding Your Calling. Waiting for a Home, Cachet's Very Sociable Mix by June Kurt. Cachet, a cheerful shop in Manchester, Vermont, is full of bright inspiration as owners Judy Rossley, below left her, and Nancy Hagen invent new lives for old fabrics and furniture finds. We've showcased some choice items from this lively tumble of color and pattern and also tried them out at home in Judy's circa 1900 farmhouse, its old walls the background to the interplay of much-loved pieces renewed. Oh, I love this room. How beautiful is that? I love the color. I love the beautiful flower arrangements and the depth of all of them. I love this portrait here. It's just so pretty. I love this Aztec rug. Love her house. That's nice. Oh, and here is where the cover photo comes from. Look at this. All is abundance at Cachet. Tabletops laden with toll trays and such fine English plates as these from Copeland Spode. Wow, it's beautiful. Oh, I love this room. This is why I like Victorian magazine. I literally say that I love every single page. So look at this beautiful room. I love these Victorian rooms, these beds, just beautiful. Victorian nightgown. So I wear Victorian nightgowns, and you can find them on Amazon. I have them linked in my store. I could link some below, but these are my favorite types of nightgowns to wear, the flowing long white nightgowns. Look at this chair and these hats. Here's a quote here, and I love that Victorian magazine always includes quotes. This quote is from Celia Thaxter and Island Gardner. It says, "The dear flowers, summer after summer they return to me, always young and fresh and beautiful. Year after year the island garden has grown in beauty and charm." So now we're on Nantucket. And Hillary from Old World Home. Did she go to Nantucket? Cape Cod? Yes, so it says, come summer, the dunes and pathways of Nantucket are overrun with wild roses. The scent of Rosa rugosa even wafts into town, where transplanted Kentuckian Amby Hay presides over an enchanting shop she named for the pink and white blooms. Look at this. Yeah, I love these shops. I mean, couldn't you just take an entire afternoon and stroll these shops and then go get an afternoon cup of tea? Wouldn't that be a lovely day off? This one's in Santa Fe. This is a shop in Santa Fe, and it says an Emporium Reborn. In a handsomely restored building on Santa Fe's historic plaza, two like-minded couples started Simply Santa Fe, a shop full of little luxuries for oneself or one's home. I love these rugs. I like to mix and match things. My mother-in-law is really good at that, mixing and matching rugs, and Santa Fe rugs with like Victorian style or shabby chic style. Look at these clothes. Just beautiful. This one says Renaissance buttons. Buttons may be small, but even a button collector recognizes the moment when her treasures overflow the house. So these are just these beautiful cameo buttons. They're lovely. They make a nice brooch. These are the family members that collect these buttons here. What is this? A family's own menagerie. To anyone fond of animals, the Victorian period is neither the Crystal Palace nor William Morris, steam engines nor Middlemarch. Rather, it's Queen Victoria and Prince Albert surrounding themselves with dogs, horses, and stags, parrots and parakeets. Here we go. You see the little animals in the stained glass window here. And everybody loves animals. Okay, legacy. Side-by-side fashions then and now. So how we all adore the handcrafted look and fine fabrics of vintage clothing, yet how often we are disappointed when a wonderful one-of-a-kind dress is not our size or has seen better days. To the rescue comes legacy. So they restore vintage clothing. Look at these dresses and hats here. Reminds me of Downton Abbey. I love that dress too. That's so pretty. Arranging the past with a careful touch. So here you can see beautiful dishes. I love that. It's pepper, cinnamon to keep the spices in. Neat to look at these little shops. I guess this is the closest I'll get to them right now, huh? That's kind of like a shabby chic look. I love that look too. There's like a farmhouse look. So these are silk flowers. Lovely. Lisa Dolkin and her niece Pamela Garrick create these. What a beautiful hat that is. Can't you see the Duchess of Cambridge wearing a hat like that? It's so pretty. Upon her head a cremosan coronet with damask roses and daffodillies set. Edmund Spenser. From Shepherd's Calendar in 1579. Wow. Oh, look at this room. The Bombay Company creates an intriguing shopper's world. Do you remember the Bombay Company? I certainly do. Look how beautiful this room is. It looks so welcoming. What a sumptuous bed. There we go. Styling Bombay's future. This is interesting. From Caroline Minot Bell's talented hands, storied wares. Like many people with a fondness for what used to be called ladies' work, Caroline Minot Bell hadn't thought there was a market for the items she loved to make. So by day she worked in the corporate production world of television, but at night in her Manhattan home, while talking on the phone or watching movies, her hands were never still. She was cutting and arranging and pasting. Here her sister Susan Minot, our writer-in-residence, she wrote the sister's piece, writes about Carrie's unexpected career. So wait, what does she make? Let's see. She's a decoupage artist. I see. Oh, I see. So she made this tray. That's so beautiful and interesting. I love this because it's like there's so many women with so many beautiful talents. And, you know, if you have a passion and a talent you should do it. And not necessarily to sell. You could do it to sell to make an income. And what a wonderful way to make an income. But it's good to do things that feed your soul. She said, I always thought I didn't have the time to decoupage. I had to be working at a real job, but after a while, if you really have the urge to create, you can't keep it down. That is so true. Okay, we're moving on to the recipe portion of the magazine, The Sophisticated Tomato. As any of its aficionados will attest, there's nothing as succulent as a tomato right from a backyard garden. That is absolutely true. My tomatoes did terribly this year. Absolutely terrible. Last year we had so many tomatoes. So here's the recipe index. They have banana cream pie, sun-dried tomato biscuits, tomato spice tea bread, that sounds interesting, zucchini pancakes with golden tomato concasse, fresh tomato ketchup, tomato lavender jam, baked tomatoes, pasta with mushrooms and sage, mixed greens with orange cumin. These are recipes. This is their catalog market. This doesn't exist anymore, I don't believe. Victorian cupboard. Oh, you know what? I have this. Yes, I have this book, actually. This is a book, and I have that. And so these are just old advertisements. They're kind of neat. Gooseberry Patch, that's still a popular book series. Who has a Gooseberry Patch cookbook? What else do we see here that we recognize? Not much. The Wicker Warehouse, Patagonia, of course, Neiman Marcus, Jackson Perkins, Rose Tree Cottage. So, Nordic Track, how funny. Yes, so these are just little advertisements. Look at this, Barely People. Can you see this? The teddy bear here. Barely People bears are known for their exquisitely handmade costumes. Oh, how I would love to give those to my girls. I wonder if that's still around. Okay, Hannah Anderson, that's still here. Oriental Trading Company, Amazon Dry Goods, Victoria's Secret. Look, that Victoria's Secret actually used to have classy advertisements. Can you believe that? Not so much anymore. If you walk down the mall, you will see very different advertisements. Oh my goodness. I have Samantha. So this is the American Girls collection. And look at this adorable little advertisement here I remember I got Samantha when I turned 10 or 11. And I had all of this. My parents got me the whole set. And I would always get for my birthday or for Christmas a new part of it. And I still have Samantha today. And my daughters play with her. I love dolls. Focus. Oh, look at this. See? There we go. The Enchanting World of Tasha Tudor. The Jenny Wren Press creates holiday magic for those special people in your life. So Tasha Tudor has always just been a part of Victorian magazine, I feel. So there she is. Cooking and entertaining, a wine for every dish. And this is another advertisement. We're getting to the end of the magazine here. This is how to order Victorian magazines. Grey Poupon advertisement. Who remembers the Grey Poupon advertisement? Oh, how did it go? Something about it being Grey Poupon in a British accent. I can't remember. The last page is Dreams for Sale by Catherine Calvert. Rose is born, a round little bud, and we've been called to celebrate, and along with good wishes, I plan to walk in the door, bringing something significant, something to mark this moment in time, so off I go to shop, that special sort of shopping, when what you're after should bear a bit of meaning as well as beauty. This is the shopping I relish, and I chose a Saturday afternoon for a wander through gift shops. And the final page is White Linen by Estee Lauder. So I hope that you enjoyed that flip through on this 25-year-old issue of Victoria magazine. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this with a friend who loves vintage issues of Victoria magazine who would find this useful. And let me know if you would like me to do this for September, because I have a lot of these vintage ones and it'd be kind of fun to do this once a month. All right, thank you so much for joining me today on the Daily Connoisseur. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Goodbye, everyone.